do it. Let's do it. All right. Good morning. Today is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Selectmen. It is Tuesday, August 5th at 8:30. In front of you, you have today's agenda. There is one item we'd like to add to the agenda. It's a full-time employee request from the Department of Human Resources, or the Human Resources Director. Could I get a motion to add that agenda item?
So
Second. It's unanimous. And then could I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you. You have the minutes from our July 22nd meeting. Are there any additions or corrections you would like to make?
None here.
Nope. Okay, if I could get a motion to approve the July 22nd minutes.
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you. And then public comments. Members of the public are welcome to provide comments to the Board of Selectmen on agenda topics scheduled for review and or vote. Comments submitted electronically should be sent to the following email address: bosdistribution@newcanaanct.gov. Do I have anyone wishing to make public comment? Oh, Mr. Haas. What to say? There you go.
Just quickly, I'm sorry. I think it's embarrassing to have to get up here.
Why? You're very welcome. It's always
Um,
nice to see you.
Just want to say quickly and briefly how grateful I am and how impressed I have been over the years with the baskets, the flower baskets
Oh, yeah.
on the whole. And they're just as good as ever this year, despite the uneven weather pattern we've had in the spring. So the beautification league gets special credit, but the person who really maintains it, it's great to do them, great to put them up, but the fact to see them thriving now, they're even better. Our garden's faltering. These flower baskets are better than ever. And that's Walt Jacobs, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Anybody who can compliment, when you see him watering faithfully almost every day in his little cart with a little hose, should say thank you. He would appreciate it, I'm sure. So thanks everyone involved.
I do it regularly because I love to see him driving around in that truck and watering those
Anyway, thanks for
beautiful
your time.
planters. So we're lucky to have him. Thanks, Alan. It's so nice to have people that, recognize good work of our volunteer groups and our town employees.
That's all those small little things that make the
Yeah.
town look so great. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. So thank you. All right, moving on. Cheryl, if we can have a full-time employee. And Lou, sorry.
Good morning. So thank you for letting us add this additional individual. We currently have 3 openings in Public Works, and we're trying to fill as quick as we can. We just had another retirement of Joe Lucas, who's been with us for 40.
Oh my goodness.
47.
Wow.
47 years? Hats off.
We are as quick as we can trying to fill positions, but we are starting to lose some of our individuals who have been with us for a long time. So in front of you is Peter Bontini. He currently works for the town of Greenwich, where he started 124. He did tree removals. He was a truck operator, snow removal. Before that, he worked for the Botanical Gardens, pruning, snow removal, truck operator. He currently has a CDL, his 10-hour OSHA certification, and he's a certified arborist. We are very lucky to have gotten him. And when he said yes, I wanted to move on this as quick as we could. So
Certified arborist. That's great.
And at the
It'd be great
Botanical
for-
Gardens for 6 years.
Yes.
So, that guy
That's a
must know his
score.
trees
That's
and
a score.
that's great.
to have somebody transfer out, Jeff Vanella, who was really doing that work for us. He moved over to Park, so it would be great to put him into Highway. So, Lou, I don't know if you have.
No, we're just excited. We think we got a really good one here. So, and we lost Jeff. So this is we
Good.
feel like we're right where we were.
Great.
Great.
All right. Any other questions?
No,
No.
grab this person.
All right. If I could get a motion to approve a request from the Human Resources Director to hire Peter Bonfantini as an equipment operator too.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you.
Congratulations, Lou.
When did you start?
Yeah, today. He's
Oh.
giving notice. so.
Okay, great.
All right. All right. Albie, Fire Department.
Good morning. The fire department would like to request a PO for Resource Management Associates in the amount not to exceed 12,500 for the promotional testing services for the ranks of captain and lieutenant.
What does that mean?
This is the contracted portion of the assessment center that we need to, that we would do in the testing process for captain and lieutenant, which we started it in July. I had verbal prices and it slipped my mind to get the PO in prior to July 1 when we did
Is this for the
testing.
test or is this for prep for the test?
This is the testing. This is the actual.
This is just
testing.
what the cost.
This is the cost.
Who does it go to? Who
Uh,
we pay this 12,500?
my budget.
No, but
Who
is it the
runs?
state
Re-
thing or is it
Resource Management Associates. It's the testing company
that the state hires? Okay, I just.
that we hire. Yeah. So they're out of Chicago, outside of Chicago.
And so is this national tests? Is it
It's
state tests? I'm just trying to
It's
understand.
individual tests to departments. So, many departments use RMA. They might use the International Association of Fire Chiefs out of Virginia, Ergometrics out of Washington. So there's a lot of them that could put the assessment test together.
So, I mean, are the tests different versus the different there's a test and this, I'm just,
Every test is
I feel
different.
like an SAT. That's
So,
the same
well, there's a
construct?
written, so the assessment center, our assessment center, the request is for a written test, a tactical portion of the test where they're actually running a fire. The candidates will run a fire. And then there's two basically HR scenarios or some type of presentation, something that they're doing more soft skills within the fire department. So those two and all four of those come together to develop the assessment, the final score for the assessment center. So we're as best we can, we're trying to put them into the job class that they're doing, and that's what they're being evaluated on.
It's over a course of a few days, it sounds like, or is it?
It's for each rank, it's 2 days. A written, we did the writtens on the same day, but it's a written, and then the other 3 portions are through a 9-hour day. Yes.
That's why, I think the cost of it is really what, we're picturing sitting down and doing a task. But
No,
much
this
more
is the preparation for it. They bring in evaluators from other departments, so similar to ours, that actually do the independent evaluation of the assessment. The score, the
And
written
these
one.
test assessments are standardized at what, is it the federal level or state level? I mean.
No, it's local. So every department would do their own, unless like there's a state mandate, like some states would have a mandate on what they do for testing.
Okay,
Connecticut does not, so it lies with the municipality and how they do that.
okay.
And
It's interesting that it's
and
not
how do
more
you
state
choose?
coordinated.
How do you choose? Like you mentioned all these other companies, like what made you choose this company?
RMA's been working in Connecticut, so they have a pretty good reputation in Connecticut. You kind of look to them and evaluate them. I evaluated them all back when we did the assistant chief's assessment. And for the cost, this is the best one. We get the most out of it. They get the results back the fastest. So that was kind of why we stuck with RMA through the process. And we've been using them for 3 test cycles now. This would be the 3rd test cycle, 4th with the assistant chief. So that's kind of why we still stuck with them going through there.
We should have done this probably in May or June. 'Cause
Yes.
When did we contract with them?
We set test dates back in February. We had,
So from now on, we really need to do this in advance of, because this is like, we've already
done it.
Yeah.
We just paid the bill.
I
Whoops.
it got lost in the preparation, everything we have to do leading up to it, because the process has to start with the reading list.
Yeah.
We did that it was right after, right around January 30th or somewhere around there.
Okay.
We started with working out the reading list for them. So I was waiting and I completely missed asking for a PO once they opened.
It happens.
Okay.
So this is last year's.
This was for the test that just happened for the new people who were just
Okay.
tested.
The funds for this year, the funds were coming up in 25 because the vacancy's occurring in 25. So in fiscal year 26. So the money's available in fiscal year 26.
All right. Any other questions?
That's it.
All right. If I could get a motion to approve a request from the fire department to approve a purchase order with the Resource Management Associates in an amount not to exceed $12,500. What was it? What was the bill? We're done.
It's looks like it's coming in at $12,009. So, but I want to make sure because he's very good on how he does it. He doesn't give us a number. He actually gives us all his receipts.
Okay.
So that's what the
Oh,
that's what the
okay.
variable is,
Okay.
and I think that's why it went over 10,000 to start with. So
Okay.
there was additional costs for him.
Okay. So purchase order with Resource Management Associates in amount not to exceed $12,500 for promotional testing services.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you.
It looks simple in the beginning.
Hmm?
It looks simple in the beginning. Lots of detail.
Good morning. We received the invoice for St. Luke's, the medical and health services that the Board of Ed is required to pay for the private schools. So we received the bill for St. Luke's. It's a slightly higher than our estimate. So I'm looking for an increase of the budget. I'm looking for an increase in the PO of about $14,000. I've gone in front of the Board of Finance already to get contingency to transfer those funds in. So the funds are available to pay this final invoice.
So what's total cost that we're paying them?
What they're looking for is about $132,000. They're, just to give you some history, their total cost for their services at the school was $133,000. They're asking for $132,000. It's a calculation that the Board of Ed works up with the school, looking at the Board of Ed's healthcare costs per student. And then they apply that to the number of Connecticut students in each of the two schools
So Connecticut, not New Canaan.
in Connecticut.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's the difference. Now, why is that? Why are we because the school is actually in our community. So it doesn't matter that it's not New Canaan kids that are at the
Right,
school.
Right. And the
Whereas
state,
with busing, it's based on the number of New Canaan
Canaan kids.
kids.
the state statute says it's on Connecticut.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
should be allocated to each home school district.
Yes, yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
not your issue. I'm
There's
just
an
saying.
allocation Sean brought up last year that you can apply back for some refunds,
Okay.
but because of our grand list and the size of our grand list, we actually are not eligible to the
Really?
level. It's 100, not 100,000 or something. It's a couple of $100 here and there is what Sean had explained last year, for the ability to get a reimbursement back.
Yeah, that's that should be fixed.
That's a Tom O'Day, Ryan Fazio, Lucy Dathan, and CC Mar fix. That's
Yeah.
a state level fix.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it just should go back to their home school district, right? But it doesn't. So here we are.
Yep. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Nope.
If I could get a motion to approve a request to increase a previously approved FY 25 purchase order for St. Luke's School in the amount of $14,291.13 as part of the health and welfare services requirement.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Joe and Tiger. This is a surprise.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I'm here today for the CHP maintenance agreements. So the Department of Public Works is requesting authorization to enter into 4 contracts with OHA Power LLC to provide maintenance on the town CHP units. These units live at the Highway Department, wastewater treatment facility, the town hall, and Lapham Community Center. Yearly service is $9,000 for each unit, and the anticipated yearly runtime is 7,500 hours. So it'll be adjusted to the actual runtime, and that's equates to $1.28 per hour per unit. The installers of the,
Now, can you stop for a second? So if a unit is down and not running, we would not be paying for their service.
that's correct.
Okay.
So the installers of the CHP units, that's Dalkey Aegis, sent us letters back in June that they no longer offer the maintenance of these units. So OHA Power has been recommended by Aegis. So hopefully we get a little better service. They were basically dissolving their maintenance department.
Hey,
So
Joe, have we always paid a maintenance contract for these since we put them in? Okay.
yeah, it was just to Dalkey Aegis. So we're just changing the people. The town attorney is providing a cancellation clause. He's already provided it for the contract to request we have to request the funds every year. It's technically a 5-year contract. So the Department of Public Works is requesting approval to enter into 4 maintenance contracts and purchase orders with OHA Power LLC for $9,000 each for a total authorization of $36,000. And the funds are available in Bill's CHP budget line items, and they're listed on the memo.
If you said it and I missed this, I'm sorry. Is this the same general price point that we were paying previously with the maintenance service that went away?
Yeah, it's so the previous contractor had a certain dollar amount. It started off at 86 cents a year back in 2020, and it's just gone up every year. So this contract will go up 10 cents a year is what the agreement states.
Okay.
But it's in line with what we were paying before.
Historically, now as looking back, I remember when we agreed to install these, would we, knowing what we know today, is it still paying what we think it was going to pay? Would we still do it again? Would we still make the same decision?
I think time will tell.
Yeah.
We've been running them for a few years. We had problems with this maintenance contractor to keep them running.
Yeah.
We're changing horses now, so hopefully they keep them running. And if they are running, they do save money. They cost about $1.76 and $2.86 to run per hour. They create 32 kilowatts per hour.
Mhm.
So it's basically we're getting energy for like 8 cents an hour, and that's if we only run them as a generator. And there's also value. There's also value in the heat exchange.
Right.
So they work as heaters. That's more difficult to calculate, especially since they haven't been running as steady. But once we can calculate that, we'll see exactly where the savings will be.
So will this, I know the maintenance agreement tries to keep them running, but there's no guarantee that they will stay running, right? I mean, has there been so much downtime? Has that been the issue?
Yeah, there's been a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
With the people that were servicing the unit.
So, and it was sold, the company was sold, it was acquired by a different company. So there's been a lot of transition with the company, but what I want to know, are all units working today?
No.
So
Wow.
The-
So complicated.
I thought the handoff though to this company was that they were going to be up and running before the transition, because I don't want to be paying, I mean, I know it's a contract hours, but is this company now going to who's going to fix them so that they're working?
They're going to fix them, and Aegis is going to pay for them to be fixed.
Okay, so we are not, and where is that agreement? How do we ensure that we are not paying for work that Aegis should have done?
So this is just the maintenance. It's not necessarily a service. So any of the service calls that are required to get the units up and running will be paid for by Aegis.
So since they haven't fixed them to this point and they haven't been running for months,
Will they fix them?
yes, that's
Do
the
they, are
question.
they, are they
I
the
mean, well, it's
people with the
OHA
capacity
now.
to
I'm
do
not
it?
worried about OHA. I think is incentive. They're a new vendor, so they're incented to fix them. It's just, I want to make sure so if we approve this contract today,
Mhm.
when does this become effective? Today, tomorrow?
It could be effective as soon as they countersign.
And
the agreement.
when is OHA planning to fix these units?
So I need to get them on a contract so that they're actually here.
But the
Yeah.
contract to fix them, okay, I guess.
I
Yeah,
think
I get
it's
it,
good
I
to,
get
because I don't want to start up the units without a maintenance agreement on them, and they blow up and they're not under warranty. So I think it's
Where's the other side though of this that Aegis is agreeing to pay? OHA.
Well, when we had that call, they agreed.
So if it's like
they
$100,000,
agreed to pay.
I don't know how much it's gonna cost. I mean, is Aegis like gonna pay whatever OHA says they're gonna pay?
They made a commitment to get them running again.
Mhm.
So
I'm
that's,
feeling very
that's
good
all.
about that, Joe, because they've done such a great job up till now.
I'm in the same boat that you're in.
I know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not blaming
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I'm infinitely frustrated
Right.
with these units and this company. And so, I think it's great. We're changing vendors and I'm hopeful that they can fix them, but
It's frustrating.
I do not want to have Aegis not paying OHA and then for some reason we have a liability because there's nothing in writing.
Well, we're not authorizing, as part of this agreement, we're only authorizing them to maintain the units. That would be a separate agreement or,
So
We're not
is
taking on-
OHA getting an agreement with Aegis to pay them?
I'm sorry?
Is OHA getting an agreement with Aegis to pay them for the work that they do?
Or is Aegis doing the work and then handing them
No,
over?
Aegis
No.
is not doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, Aegis dissolved that department back in June.
How old are the units, Joe?
Are these just complicated units? I'm sorry, yeah.
I mean, they're generators with a heat exchanger and they run 7,500 hours. So they run constantly 24/7. So they're workhorses.
And we put them in how many years ago?
We started our first one in 2020 at wastewater, and
How long were they originally guaranteed for?
I think they were guaranteed for a year.
1 year. Wow. Okay.
And how long haven't they been working? I think that's important for people to understand.
Well, I think so. It's been spotty at the highway and wastewater treatment facility. It's been I'd have to check on the actual
But less than
run
50%,
towns.
probably less than 50%.
Less than
Less than
50%.
50% of the time.
So then what is the source of power and heat when they're not running? Is it just,
The typical boiler.
okay, which we have, so,
Mhm.
okay. So we have redundant systems.
Yeah, this just supplements the energy. So, I mean, there's
Very high cost supplement. An extremely high cost supplement. Yeah.
when they're working there.
Well, the
They're
concept,
pretty
it's a great
neutral.
concept to capture that heat and stuff. I mean,
Yes,
it's
if
a
it
great
works, it's
concept. yeah.
great. Just they don't work very well.
Is this what the Y is putting in too?
Yes, they have one.
And is that been completely installed at the Y? No, I don't mean for you to speak for the Y, but that we were helping to fund that.
My understanding is it hasn't started yet, but that's all I know.
We should probably get an update to them too.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
it was,
a grant, I
it's
think.
a well-intended, it's a well-intended.
Yes,
uh,
exactly.
It's just, I think the
Technology.
technology is,
Maybe not there.
Mhm. Okay, so. All right, so but as long as we're only paying for the hours that it's running in this contract, whereas the other contract, that's not how that was being paid. That we were paying a fee.
They made an adjustment at the end of the year.
They did?
They did make an adjustment. We have a $2,000 something credit sitting with them for less hours.
So when they run, they save us money, right? That's
Correct.
the deal, right?
They save us money. They take power off the grid.
Right.
They're greener because they're point of service
Yeah, a
use.
little
So
bit
there
more
is some things that
self-supporting,
work
yeah.
for the energy, our energy,
Footprint, yeah.
the town's energy incentives, and improvements initiative, I should say.
Yeah, well, keep us up to date on how they're, it'd be great, like, if we think like in 3 months, say, hey, they're doing service and they're up, but it would just be good to know.
Yes.
If you kind of put that in your to-do list.
Okay.
actually calculated the numbers from the beginning to see what the actual cost of all this stuff.
Not from the beginning. We ran an analysis on them like a year ago
Yeah.
when we gave an update, so I could look at that
So
memo.
when they're running, as we said, they work well, but when they're not, then that's just,
When they're running, they save us money. They save us money on it's cheaper than buying it off the grid.
right, okay.
Well, hopefully these guys can get them running.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
All right.
All right,
Thanks
if
for
I
the
could
update.
get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into 4 contracts with OHA Power LLC in the amount of $36,000, $9,000 for each of the units for annual maintenance contracts and purchase orders for the 4 town-owned CHP units.
So moved.
Second,
It's unanimous.
thank you.
Flagging services.
So this is this is in essence a continuation of a contract we had last year with Precise Traffic. They do our flagging for the majority of our road paving projects, and then they do flagging for some other small projects that we have in our tree trimming and removal. We had a $50,000 PO from last year. We're asking for a $25,000 one for this year. I used some of the monies from last year to carry over to some of the projects this year. I won't need the rest of that additional money. I
How
need
much did
about-
we use last year in flagging?
Hmm.
35,
So,
and we asked
yeah.
for 50.
And then so I used that 15, carried it over. So I'm looking at about another 25, and that should run us through the end of the year with the jobs that we have left to go. We've got several projects that are remaining. And then with it, this should satisfy the season. And the monies are available, in the pavement management improvement program, and Precise has done a very nice job for us over the years. So we'd like to stay with them. They seem to be less expensive than other flagging companies as well.
What do we pay an hour for them?
It varies based upon whether it's a prevailing wage or not. We pay
Okay.
$35.50 if it's a non-prevailing wage, and I believe it's in the high 60s, low 70s. I'd have to look at that again on the prevailing wage side. But I'll get you that number.
Okay,
No problem.
any other questions?
Oh, good.
All right. So if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into a contract with Precise Traffic Control in the amount of $25,000 to provide flagging services for town projects.
So moved.
Second,
It's unanimous. All right.
Thank you.
Lapham Center sidewalks.
So this next is a project we went out to bid. We received 3 bids. We solicited, we publicly advertised, and we solicited from 10 separate contractors. We received 3 bids back. And this is for the sidewalks that are directly in front of the Lapham Community Center. So they're starting to, they're original to the building. They're starting to spall away, and then we're having a problem on the interface between the Belgian block curbing and the sidewalks themselves. And given that it's a community center for our aged population, we want to make sure that there's no tripping hazards. And the 3 ramps that are there are actually, when it was built, they were compliant. Now they're not compliant because they don't have a tactile warning strip. So we've actually have to remove those and put in a tactile warning strip. So as I mentioned, we went out to bid, see 3 bids. Peter Lonnie Incorporated was the low bid at $53,350. They added a 10% contingency for $5,300 for a total of $58,650. And the money's available in our sidewalk capital account from fiscal 26 with an original budget of $500,000. And we would like to get this work rolling since they're kind of closed for August. We'd like to then have it done before the season opens. I talked to the contractor. He feels it's a good week, 7 days to do the work, 7 work days to do the work. And he'll get in and out, and then we'll be good. And Aggie's very excited to have this done.
It does look terrible. I went over there last week and it's pretty bad.
but you get to reuse the granite, right?
It's Belgian block
Oh,
there,
Bel-
so
it's
we're
Belgian.
putting in granite. We're taking the Belgian block out. That's another portion. Is the
Oh,
Belgian
you
block
would-
on the top of the Belgian block is not smooth, so
Right.
it can be considered tripping. You can catch a toe on the side of it if you're walking around someone on the sidewalk. So we'd like to remove the Belgian block and put the granite in. It's a hazard for the plow. I won't say it's a hazard for the plow too, but the plow has a tendency to catch it and kick them off. Yeah. So
Do we have already a stockpile of granite or?
We do. Yeah,
Okay.
we have enough for this.
So
this
did we
project-
pay for that previously? And so,
Yes, yeah, we came to you for a stock purchase of 400 feet.
right, so like this quote doesn't need granite in it. It's just for the sidewalks and we'll use, and it's obviously the labor to install the granite, but it's no materials cost.
Correct. That material.
But the actual cost of this issue included the granite would be higher. I mean, if you allocated the granite cost. to
Are they,
this.
are you doing that though? I don't think this PO is doing that, is it?
No.
It's not.
No, I know it's
Right.
not, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
the all-in cost of it is
Yes,
higher because we
yes,
pre-bought.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, but in this case, we supply the granite. In all the cases, we typically supply the granite. That way we get the granite that we want. We get it the same color, the same look.
So that's actually not in the actual cost of any of the projects that you do. You just do the bidding and then we only get the installation, the manpower cost to install it in whatever you're bringing to us.
That's correct. Yeah. So you would have to then add that
Okay.
in, that
It
little bit
might
of
be good
cost.
to just add it,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
previously
It's
funded
like-
by the town, just so we know the all-in
Mhm.
cost.
The all-in cost is, yeah.
Yeah, you know, just so we know.
In this case, it's 300 feet of granite and we bought it at around $21 a foot. So another $6,000.
The Tiger finished, as you drive up to Lapham, it'll be from where the island is, as you drive into the parking lot on the right. It'll stretch from the door, the first door there, all the way down. How does it tie into like the new baseball? sidewalk?
It'll go all the way to the building that we're renovating now, the
Okay.
garage that's
Okay.
there. So because that's actually the disabled parking area is there, and that's got a Belgian block strip in the
Right.
middle of it. So we're trying to get rid of that. It's flush, but it's still not, it's not flush. So yeah, as you come in, there's that turn to say to the western parking lot of Lapham,
Right.
that corner
Right.
all the way around. Yeah, all the way around the building, and then in front of the disabled spaces. That's it'll take care of all of it. So all the sidewalks will be replaced.
That's great. That'll look nice. Okay. All right.
Any other questions?
No, but you know what's helpful, because we're gonna talk about this in the next one for the western parking lot. And you included for the western parking lot, kind of like the bid breakdown kind of shows you the different components of the cost of stuff. Because like people, you look at stuff and go, why does it cost so much? And it really helps when you see there's this piece, this piece, this piece, that how it builds to these numbers. So if in the future, I'm not worried about
I
this.
thought I did on this one. I'm sorry if I didn't. I've been trying to do it for each one, just so you
western
could see
parking lot.
so you could see the breakdown and see
Yeah,
exactly.
so
what the
people know
figures
how we get to these numbers. We're not just pulling them out of the hat.
Estimated, how it's estimated by the contractor. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought I did it for this one. I apologize if I didn't.
That's okay.
All right.
Thank
you. So if there are no other questions, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into a contract with Peter Lonnie Inc. in the amount of $53,350 plus a contingency of $5,300 for a total cost of $58,650. The project entails the replacement of existing sidewalks at the Lapham Community Center.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Thank you.
The western parking lot.
So this, this next project, same thing. This is for the western parking lot at Waveney House. So as you're looking at the house, it's the one on the right-hand side, leading towards the large open field. We went out to bid. We solicited from 10 contractors. Again, we received 2 bids back. Peter Lonnie Incorporated was the low at $436,664.19. Burns came in at $462,228. I added a 10% contingency of $43,000 for a total project of $479,664.19. And the monies are available in our parking lot management and improvement program. In this lot, as we went out there and took a look at it, was on the list from the DOJ, the Department of Justice, as far as being non-compliant for specifically the accessible route and the accessible parking area into our accessible route that leads into the building. So our route is perfect all the way out till the edge of the brick wall that surrounds the forecourt, and from there out, we're not. So that's one of the reasons why we're having to do this work itself. So the work entailed is to take out the existing parking lot, realign it slightly. I won't say enlarge it. There is a little bit of a larger footprint for impervious area, but we will be adding approximately 17 spaces.
Correct. It's
17.
it's going to be a more efficient layout than
Right.
it is today.
Much more efficient layout. And then we'll have a sidewalk. We'll be relocating our accessible spaces to adjacent to the accessible route. And then with a sidewalk which will then lead towards the other parking lot that's over by the softball and soccer fields. And then with that, we'll also be doing some we'll be replacing the decorative lighting on the one side that's existing and placing new decorative lighting on the opposite side with new timber rail. And then some additional landscaping to try to screen the lot itself.
So almost 105,000 of this is for lighting.
Correct.
So when they're installing the new decorative lampposts that are obviously going to match the other lampposts we have in Waveney, right? Is that, Tiger, is that just installing them, but is that also the cost of the lampposts?
It's also the cost of the lamppost. So the-
Boy, those are big differences among the contractors and what they charge for that, which is interesting.
there's-
But we're telling them that lamppost, that's in, right? Do we have, are we using our stock of lampposts or is it just?
Well,
buy that?
we're gonna use our stock of lampposts and then they're going to replace
Got it.
our stock. So we're gonna be, that way we can save a little bit of time on the, not having to wait for their materials to come in. The low bid was at 83,726.52 for the lampposts
Mhm.
from Peter Lonnie, and then it was 125 from Burns Construction. Comes down to the electrical contract that you want to use, and then the installation of the materials and the actual footings for the lampposts and the conduit itself. So if you
Yeah, because some of the lampposts we replaced already had the conduit and the footings and everything there. So this is digging all new, installing all new
repositioning, mhm.
conduits. Yeah.
we'll be repositioning a couple of lights, and then we've actually got to install new conduit around the backside of the parking lot to then satisfy the farther western side.
Yeah.
So we can reuse some of it. We can't reuse all of it. We can reuse some of the footings, can't reuse all of the footings.
So the 15,000 for the granite curbing is just the installation cost
Just the
of it.
installation cost.
And so how many feet are we putting in granite curbing in there? Oh, wait, it's on there, isn't it? Loose curbing, I see it on there. Granite curbing.
355 feet,
355,
so
so
it's about
probably
another
another
$7,000.
$7,000 in granite.
Approximately.
So it's good to stock it.
Mhm.
Well, and thank you for taking all of us out to see it. I mean,
Hugely helpful.
yeah,
right?
because, and I think Tiger, you said, and if you said it earlier, I forget, but you've been here, what, how many years?
26.
That's never been touched. So I don't think you know when it was last.
No, I
addressed,
don't.
right?
I
So-
don't have it in my records as when it was actually paved originally or repaved. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And it will give more parking there and with on the what's called impervious surface. So
That's correct. Yeah, we're putting in a pervious pavers on one side so that we can satisfy our drainage requirements. But then since we were able to kind of sister the look, and that one side is just parallel parking
yeah, it's
versus
tricky.
you have a lot of pavement there, but it's not maximizing the
Yeah.
use. So
Yeah, we have that dumpster sitting there,
Yeah, which will look
plopped in the middle. Yeah.
Plus it's on an arc. It looks like they tried to put in a cul-de-sac, kind of like a turnaround area in there. And it's just not efficient from a parking standpoint.
Right.
So once we straighten up the lines, we make it much more efficient. We're able to almost double the spaces.
Yeah, it'll be a net of about 14 parking spaces, depending on how many you can squeak in right now, parallel.
So what's the timing on this? And full disclosure, I got roped into doing a Lobster Fest, which is a 20.
She has an
25th
outside
and
interest.
25th
in
and
this.
26th. It's for town interest. It's no personal gain, right? So how long is this gonna take? And what type of accessibility will people who are using Waveney House for multiple things like weddings have?
It's going to take about a month,
Okay.
3 to 4 weeks. It's 2 separate contractors coming in. So we have Lonnie, who's going to be doing the majority of the site work, and then they're paired with a subcontractor, FGB, to do the paving itself. So there'll be a portion when we were removing the lot and then repaving the lot. The majority of the work as we're going, we should be able to accommodate people to park and then we'll move through the site to be able to get into the facility. The goal would be to do Lapham Center immediately and then start within the next 2 weeks over Waveney. I want to just talk to John and make sure that we're going to match with his schedule there as far as his weddings and things like that.
Mhm.
And the contractor's well aware of where he's working and who he's working for and the fact that it is a venue. He's not blind to that fact. So he understands exactly what he needs to do to try to make sure that access is given pretty much 24/7, even while he's working. The only time that we'll really have to close that lot is when we're tearing it out
Mhm.
and we're putting it back in. those are the only two times when you really can't have a car in there
Yeah.
while I'm tearing it out or when I'm putting it back in. The rest of the time, while we're putting in the granite, we're putting in the sidewalk, things of that nature, we can certainly move traffic and move people around that. We've done it everywhere else in town. It's very akin to working in the downtown area, and Peter Lonnie does a very nice job in the downtown area working for us and being able to work around the businesses and the residents at that time.
Is there, and this is a bit off topic, but we're putting impervious, so we have more drainage issue. Is that not, I mean, we're in a park, okay, and is there any way to, you're gonna shoot me when it says, to not pave it, so that it's something a little more environmentally, I mean, pavement's hot, it doesn't drain and all this stuff. Is it just, have we thought about doing more of that on a go forward? And I know we're doing it to help with our drainage, but just in terms of not just help with drainage, but to help environmentally. And I don't know, I'm sure there's a
I'd
cost.
embrace that going forward on other projects, being able to have applications similar to this.
Yeah.
with the pervious pavers, because you're right, the heat island effect on those are less because there's a cooling factor with the fact that they have anywhere from 12 to 24-inch gravel depth underneath for the voids. And that allows for cooling, which is nice. And then in the winter time, also, you don't have the same freezing conditions because you have the water that permeates through. So I think that they're great applications that we can look at in some of our other projects.
Yeah, I think
in the
if
future.
to the extent we can, and I don't know how your maintenance changes with
I was
them.
just, well, and what's the
which is an
price
issue.
differential?
Right,
What's
so-
the price?
but-
I mean, I think it's great, but like.
We should just evaluate it.
Yeah, I'd like to understand the pricing differential.
Here, it was
short-term,
it was,
long-term pricing.
In an effort to meet our own drainage policy, there are certain options where you can address stormwater management. One would be your typical subsurface Coltech systems. So there's a fee that's involved, obviously, with construction of those. So that offsets some of the fee of the pervious pavers. So
Just put the nut numbers together.
right, and
Yeah.
well,
I understand there's two options, but like,
it would
we
be,
really do
al-
need
it's
to
always on a
see-
project by project
Right,
basis, but
exactly.
absolutely.
yeah.
We can-
Going forward, I'd love to see that, the view.
We have a unit price here. I would compare that. We did similar pervious pavers at Bristow
Mhm.
on Old Stanford Road. I'd like to compare that price to this price, and then we did it over at Saks for their little. There's an area inside their island on the front entrance.
Right.
So we compare those three, and then while there is that benefit, in this case, we need the pervious pavers because of the
Right.
drainage.
You didn't need it
situ-
in the whole thing. You needed it. So
Exactly. So we need
I
it
think
there.
what I'm really talking about is, I think Amy's saying, if we were to do, maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying, but if you were to do that.
Yeah, what would it
treatment,
cost?
The differential.
And
That would be equivalent to the mill and pave. So the reconstruction and paving on the parking lot. I can put those two numbers together and show you what the difference is just on a apples to apples if we were to do the entire lot.
Yeah.
In that.
Right.
And say, okay, it
Right.
would be incrementally more, this much more money.
Yeah.
But we can certainly do that math based on what we have.
understand how the implications for maintenance would be impacted or not. I know it's not just putting units, but how it lasts and stuff, but it's getting hotter and those heat domes they're pretty nasty. And especially when you think waiting, it's a park. It's like kind of the perfect place to consider it. So I think as we go forward, if we can kind of look at these options, I think that'd be great for people to just evaluate.
Yeah, we can put those numbers together for you and share them. Just tell you what based upon this, what it would have been to do the entire lot, say, and then you can see what the difference is.
Yeah, I'd love to
that
see that.
point.
Yeah.
It'll be market. I'll be honest with you, but we can show it
It'll be what?
market. It'll be a market change.
So the only thing I want to say though, is that traditionally you don't want that center aisle to be the pavers because of the turn movements. That activity actually has a tendency sometimes to shift.
Got it.
The paver. So aisles would always
Likely be, yeah.
predominantly likely be your traditional asphalt.
Got it.
But the parking spaces aren't
Have to.
exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, we just talked about how this could be 30 or 40 years old what we're replacing. So it's, we don't really have a lot of data on how long these pavers would last, but that's.
Right. We're just in our infancy right now. We have one installation.
locally.
Yeah, locally. Yeah. So we're about 2-3 years on one, another year on another, but we could certainly look around and see what else is done.
Just another potential benefit to beautification of the town.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works to enter into a contract with Peter Lonnie Inc. in the amount of $436,664.19 plus a contingency of $43,000 for a total cost of $479,664.19. The project entails the milling, reclaiming, and repaving of the western parking lot at Waveney.
So moved.
Second,
It's
we're
unanimous.
looking for a quick construction,
When's
Okay, we
the
wanna-
lobster? It's September 25th?
25th, 26th.
Okay, we'll see what we can do.
We want-
Friday. You can work the beginning of the week.
I want to echo Amy's comments about the site visit was huge. And Maria and Tiger, thank you for bringing us out there because it's when we first got this, it was like, wow, it's almost $500,000. What is this? And when you actually go out there and you see it and you understand how big a project it is to rip the parking lot up and replace it, there's tree work involved. It's lampposts. It's going to look great. But going out and seeing it was big. So thank you. Thank you
Right.
for having us out.
Yeah, as we mentioned, might be, on the next larger projects, might be better to just go out there for a field visit before we come in
Mhm.
into chambers
Mhm.
and meet out there first to get any questions you have.
But also the bid documents are huge because it's like when people, it shows you how it built to this number. It's just not, a guess. It's pretty detailed.
Okay, any public work updates you have questions on?
I don't,
I was excited to see some Burns construction equipment on Elm Street. So it's coming.
So we'll give you a little bit of that. So, right, they arrived at Morse Court. Tonight they'll start 9 o'clock mill till about 5 a.m., 6 a.m. We're asking we've asked the restaurants to just stop serving outdoor dining in our bump out area at 2:30. Seat the last people at 2:30, have them vacate by 4. Our crews are going to come in and remove the concrete barriers at 4 o'clock. Burns will come in at 9 this evening, as I said, work till about 5, 6, and then the road will be open for the day. And we'll do repeat again, 9 to 6 tomorrow. Weather looks excellent for the next couple of days. And pave that, and then we'll be looking to stripe it and then bring in a separate company to do the decorative crosswalks. And then we're going to let the pavement sit for one day, and our crews are going to put the barricades back out again Friday morning, first thing, to allow weekend so that they can have outdoor dining on the weekend because the weather looks good again for that. As far as everything else, we've finished our Cape sealing for the year. So that was Bayberry, Sheridan, Briscoe, and a portion of Valley, Lower Valley, from Ferris Hill to Silvermine, to the bridge at the Wilton line. They're crack sealing right now, so we've got another 15, 20 roads to go. They'll be done hopefully by the end of the week. Looks like maybe we get a little rain on Friday, and then it's supposed to be, and then the next week should be good, and that'll be done. Then we're looking at the contractor coming back in again end of August to pave Lakeview Lane, Park Lane, Green Avenue, Millport, the stretch that we did the sidewalk on, to finish that. And then a portion of Brushy Ridge, River Street, Hill Street, because that's to take up what Aquarian had done there. And then we have out to bid right now, Pine Street. It's going to come back in 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We'll bring that to you in the beginning of September. And then we'll look that'll be a project for a contractor to close the season on. And that's brick sidewalk, granite curb in the areas where we need it, because there's already been some that's been rebuilt or done in certain areas, and then the entire area will be repaved. That one might be one where you want to walk through and just see it before they come in. That might be a good idea for that. And then we still have Aquarian working in town. So they're putting in 3 water mains, Summer Street, Garish Lane, Dunning Road. So they're working on Summer right now, and then they're redoing the services on Dunning, and then they'll get to Garish to do the services then, and then finish the services at Summer. Everything from them should be wrapped up in October-ish timeframe, end of September. And then our favorites on South Avenue and 106, they're going to be here. South Avenue, day before school closes, they're going to be off. And 106, they're going to be here till mid-November with paving. They'll be off by mid-October, and then they have a month to repave the area till mid-November. That's pretty much
So South Avenue won't be repaved until November?
South Avenue, right, we're trying to work on a time frame as to when that will be overlaid. And the thought is that we're going to need a day or two to overlay it. The state is working through that time frame right now, but they typically like to let it sit for a little while, before we have to pave. So that might be a day or two of inconvenience.
So can you go back? Because I thought they were gonna be out of here before school started, like the day they were gonna shut down.
They are.
So what is the November? That's just the overlay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
afterwards.
That's November for 106.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm thinking South
South
Avenue.
Avenue.
You said South Avenue, so I'm like,
Yeah, I
wait a
apologize.
second,
That was-
I'm a
yeah.
little confused.
South Avenue, day before school, done.
Okay, they are leaving. Okay.
Fixed. They've got to, I'm having the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm having residents call saying, how much longer do they have? And
Yeah.
even though I put it in the update, they still, so October 15, I talked to the contractor yesterday, October 15 is the time when he has to be off 106.
Okay.
And then they have
This
from
is
October
106 on the
15th.
east side of
on
town,
the
just
east
for
side of
anybody
town.
watching.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now they are paving where they were milling 106 from basically
Darien
from
to
into Darien, from the Merritt Parkway exit ramps all the way in. And then the state has plans to do 106 from R106 from Main Street to Clapper Hill. That's going to be in September timeframe. And then they have in mid-August, they're going to be doing 124 from Lambert Road to just before Luke's Woods Road. 0.05, why 0.05 miles before Luke's Woods Road? I don't know. Why don't you turn the corner and get to the town line, which is probably, quarter of a mile down the road? I don't know, but that's where they're stopping. So.
Okay.
Do you have any questions on any of that?
So just back to South Avenue. So when you say they're out, the paving is going to be,
The paving is the only thing that we have to, you're right. The actual construction in the ground,
Right.
excavating is done right before the day of school. Then we have to worry about when they're going to actually come in and do an overlay and repair the areas.
and you said
permanently.
possibly, is that months after that or is that?
Months after, yeah, because they're trying to let it settle a little bit. That's the goal. Is to let it settle, put an overlay over it. They're going to come back the next year and ruin it again. And then the following year will be a complete reconstruction of the road, paving
Oh, wow.
wise, 9 inches depth of pavement, the whole bit.
The kids in the back of the bus better hang on.
We're hoping that it's not that bad. We're hoping it's not that bad.
It is pretty bouncy.
Right.
Elevator moving along? They
Moving along, yeah,
building it yet, or were they?
constructing it in California. Yes, they are. We have
It was drawings before,
Right.
so they're actually
call on Thursday to go over the frosted glass. So we have a call with
Frosted glass.
there's some frosted glass inside the glass. There's certain frostings on the glass for,
I thought it was clear, so you could see through.
see through it.
Yeah,
There's
but
there's a
Slightly frosted.
And where do we stand on the Irwin hazardous, the assessment?
it's the building is out to bid right now. The demolition of the building, I should say, is out to bid
Okay.
at present. We've begun the process of moving all of our materials out of the building itself. And we're looking to relocate those into the barn. So we've done some work for the barn itself, putting in a new water line to the barn and a new wastewater line to the barn itself to try to then give an area for our maintenance people and then an area to store the materials that we need, our paper products, things of that nature in the barn itself. So we've started that process and that'll be ongoing until around September-ish when we're ready to go take the building down.
How did the materials study in terms of anything major we have to worry about disposing of there?
It's not just the cost will be, we're around the $300,000 range, I think was what they said for the, but we're within the monies that we had, but we're on the higher side of the monies that we had versus the lower side of the monies.
Yeah, we generally go higher, yeah, so.
Unfortunately, right, there was a quite a bit of asbestos in the building itself.
Okay, that was my question, yeah. Any lead?
I don't know, I'd have to ask Joe that question. I don't remember.
1960s building, right, could be.
All right, any other questions?
Yep.
All right,
Thank you for the
thank
update.
you, guys.
Thanks, Mary.
All right, town clerk.
Hi, good morning. Okay. The primary purpose of our land records department is to ensure the transparency and legal clarity of property ownership. The land records management system that we use is designed to organize, store, and manage land-related information and documentation. This ensures efficient access, accurate record keeping, and compliance with legal and statutory requirements. Valsoft, doing business as COT Systems, is the vendor we use to provide a suite or range of software services. In addition to land records, we use the system to index and maintain a digital documentation of events of our vital records, birth, marriage, and death. We are also able to provide other services such as property check, which notifies a property owner if something has been recorded on the land records in their name in real time. To that end, I am requesting an increase of $16,625 to purchase order 250967 as follows. Monthly hosting, $7,230, microfilm services, $860.26, audit services, $1,004.12, and the execution of the historic preservation grant in the amount of $7,500. The funds are available for all of this, and this is for FY25.
So, okay, so this,
Did we already spend this money? Did we already? So it's FY25, so we're in 26.
so what, again,
Vendor.
Yeah, so you've already got the services in place.
yeah. So
And-
again, this is kind of what we were talking with Albie. This needs to come before you actually expend the funds in next year. So like, because
We're going to do that next. right?
Okay, okay. Yeah, I see the same thing next year. Okay, perfect, because otherwise there's no budgetary control here.
So it was in your budget.
Yes.
You just didn't bring the. okay, got
Yeah,
it.
PO.
Okay.
Yep.
And is this is all online stuff? All this
Um,
stuff? I'm just asking, 'cause yeah,
Yes, it's a system that we use to process all the work that we do for land records.
okay. So is the 16,000, is that the total cost or is that just is that what you spend
That's
all
what we
year in them?
need. That's the additional amount that we need. It'll push the purchase order to $26,582
Okay, so it's like a $26,000 expense of your office on an ongoing basis.
for last year, correct?
Right, and then this year coming forward, probably same.
A little bit more.
Plus or
Oh,
minus, yeah.
so that's why we didn't see it, because it was probably under 10. The first purchase order for this was under 10, so it just came to my office. And then now, because they're going over 10,
Right.
the remainder has to come
So,
here.
so next year in your budget, you have sufficient money budgeted for
We
this?
do.
This is the 1,000 that she has in the next line item on our agenda, it looks like, correct?
Oh, okay, yeah, perfect.
Is that correct?
Yes,
And you mentioned a grant, Claudia. Did we get grant money back? for
we
this?
did. The state's already given us the $7,500. It was for a back scanning project. One of the things that I've been working on for all these years is to literally go back to the beginning to 1801 to scan all of our land records so that they are accessible online. And also we're microfilming it for preservation and conservation purposes as well. So
Right.
that's my goal.
People still use microfilm? Microfilm still?
It's used for, the state requires it.
Okay.
And it's used for, it has the longest, it has longer, how do I say this, longevity.
It doesn't disintegrate.
So if everything burns up, explodes or whatever, it still has something that has an eye readable component.
Mhm.
And that's what the state's looking for.
And I'm assuming we have it both microfiche and digital, right? You're gonna-
Microfilm
Microfilm.
and digital.
Both,
correct.
both, yeah.
So one is
Oh,
for
two
access.
secs. What is the difference? Like, you said fiche and then you said film. What's the difference? No, I'm asking, what is the difference? I don't know. I'm asking.
Those little
Shape.
square things, you know?
It's a different material. It's a different process. Microfilm, it's in a tape.
Oh, and so,
Yeah.
and films disintegrate more, right?
And we keep all this in a very fireproof, safe. that
So
you-
we have quite a number of rolls of film
Mhm.
and they're all kept at Iron Mountain. So off-site. So if anything ever happens, when there were floods down in Florida, remember, and also New Orleans, a lot was lost because they didn't have anything backed up. And, technology changes so rapidly.
So you never can get at it. Yeah.
That it's great to digitize everything and throw all the books away. Again, the state requires that we have the books, the
Okay.
physical piece of paper, but things change so quickly. That's why they want that iReadable component.
It's good.
Understandable.
Okay. All right, so if there are no further questions, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the town clerk to increase a previously approved FY25 purchase order with Valsoft Corporation doing business as COT Systems in the amount of $16,625 for land records, hosted systems, and state historic preservation grant.
So
Second.
It's unanimous. All right, and then item 12, the second approval for FY26.
Okay, for the same reasons previously stated, in fiscal year 26, we need to create a purchase order in the amount of $30,000 for Valsoft doing business as COT Systems, who will provide the following services: monthly hosting, $18,600, microfilm services, $1,500, audit services, $2,000, office supplies, $400, and an anticipated historic preservation grant of $7,500.
So did they provide you audit services last year, or is this an add-in?
We, did we do it last year? No, of
Well, it's
course.
just when you listed what it does.
Right. So everything that we do is audited by COT. They send it back to us, and we don't know how many documents we will have in a year. So sometimes there's more, so it's flexible. It varies, if that's what you're looking at.
I think she's asking, you didn't ask for those
It
funds
didn't say
in this
audit, it did say
request, the
audit for
last year's
2025.
request.
That's, is it, are you getting more services from them this year than you did last year? That's all my question.
Recordings have picked up, so we were just anticipating this much.
So did you have the audit services from this FY25? Were those just a smaller purchase order that didn't come before this board?
No,
I'm
no.
just looking for consistency in the language, that's all.
Right, so 1,000, I asked for 1,004 extra, so I don't know what the number was prior to that. I'm sure we paid audit services,
To those guys, same.
so it's probably about the same.
Or maybe that was the earlier funds.
It
Okay,
was.
I'm just trying to see if they're doing more services this year. Okay.
and we're expecting that grant again? Can we
I'm
get
going to
that grant?
apply for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay. So if I could get a motion to approve a request from the town clerk to approve a FY26 purchase order with Valsoft Corporation doing business as COT Systems in the amount of $30,000 for land records, hosted systems, microfilm creation services, and a state historic preservation grant.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Actually, before you leave, since we have you here and we don't have you here that often, so, we talked about at our last meeting, Janet retired as of July 31st. And so we are without a assistant town clerk. So if you could just let us all know sort of the process and, what you're thinking about, because, that person is sort of an integral part of
I
it.
think that's a personnel issue, which is, if you want to talk about
No,
that
just-
executive.
Just like a
executive-
posting, or if we're just gonna be promoting, or, sort of your thought process of how long, I guess we don't have to talk about who it's gonna be, but how long it's gonna be before we get a new assistant town clerk.
That I can't say, but I expect to have a posting out for the same position that Janet held, for another assistant to the town clerk very soon, so.
Yeah, you said it because I think you said it was busy a couple of weeks ago when we talked about it, but you were going to get is there a listing up now, posting up, or for the job?
I'm sorry?
Is there a job posting up now?
Not
for-
yet.
Okay.
That's the need, is to fill that position.
Yeah, because I think when we talked about how you guys were crazy down there, so hopefully we'll get somebody in there soon. Yeah.
Well, there was some talk about hiring another admin, which is not what we need. We need another assistant.
Well, because I think, you've asked for overtime hour, or not overtime, part-time employees. So I think, sort of the hope would be to sort of you know, fill out the complement of employees in there with full-time employees who sort of can be, you know, trained to, you know, have expertise in what you need. So hopefully that will, you know, reduce the stress and workload for everybody once people start to get, you know, because part-time employees are great for temporary, but it doesn't, you know, help move an organization forward and, you know, sort of, you don't have the same expertise as a full-time employee.
Actually, the part-time people that we've used in the past have been trained and they do help move us forward. So we've always had part-time, even when we've had full-time people. So a full complement.
Yeah. I mean, I just think the question is,
Manpower, you know.
so I think we approved the part-time for a quarter, right?
Yeah, 3 months.
So, you know, do you anticipate, I'm assuming it's an integral position for you. Do you anticipate being able to fill that position within the next 3 months?
Oh, I do.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Mimi had a,
We posted yesterday for an administrative assistant
Not what I
position
mean.
in the town clerk's office, full-time.
okay,
So that should provide some
okay.
assistance.
But that's a different job than,
It's a different
It is,
job.
Yeah.
It is, but at least it's another.
so did you lose an administrative assistant or would that be hiring a new individual?
Be hiring a new individual.
Yeah, you want to come up? Sure.
Is that in the budget?
So I think we don't have Janet, so we don't have an assistant town clerk.
Well, so I think, was the assistant town clerk, are there credentials that have to be found in an individual there, or is that a trainable job?
Okay, we're not talking about it. That's an appointment. We need to hire another person
Oh, okay.
that can do the same job as an
We're
assistant
down
to the
one.
town.
Yeah.
We're down one. We have 2 staff members there, and either we need to move somebody
Someone
up or
To that
or-
position. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So
and-
someone within your staff becomes appointed?
possibly, yes.
Okay.
Possibly, but in the meantime, I need 2 people that are doing
The
a
work.
high level of work.
Mhm.
That would,
You're replacing, because you lost them, so you're replacing them. And that's more, it's a largely an administrative function.
correct, and I
Okay.
don't want to devalue the work that
No,
that
no.
person does by hiring somebody at a lower level to do that kind of work.
So Claudia and I met on Friday. We discussed this and we decided that if I hadn't heard from you, that we were going to post the administrative job. It's an administrative to the town clerk, which we posted yesterday. And that position will be filled and then Claudia will need to make a decision as to appointing somebody to the role of the assistant town clerk.
Okay.
Is that correct?
I don't think I'm going to be appointing an admin. I'll have 2 admins.
Right now, yes, we will be hiring an admin and then you have to decide if you're going to appoint someone into. an
Problem
assistant.
is, I mean, this is all personnel issues that I really don't think is appropriate to talk about here. But I really don't need another admin. We have an admin.
So why did we post for an admin?
I don't, because I was
Okay.
told I couldn't post for an
Well, we need an
assistant.
assistant town clerk. So like, I think we need to get to that point because when you're not in the office, if you are at a conference or you're sick or somebody's in there, we have people that need the services that a town clerk provides. So
But
we
they-
need the
we-
distinction, someone to have that distinction in that office to support our community. So I would urge you to make a decision on how you want to fill that role. It's your role to fill. I'm not saying that it's anyone else's role to fill, but we need to fill that role and we need to be working towards filling that role.
And as soon as we get another person at that level to come in, then options are open.
Oh, wait, but I'm just confused. Like if I need town clerk services, right? Okay.
On there anytime.
I
right
want to get a
now.
marriage license or something. No offense, John. I'm not doing anything. But I work in full time. I got to take the time off. I go to the office. Is there always in the office someone who can sign off on the town clerk functions? Because
We are co-
always.
We are covered.
Anytime I come, I could come and I could get.
Who does that?
Yeah,
Who
I just,
covers when you're not
because
there?
it's a service. It's a major service, right?
But when you weren't here a few months ago, there was no one, I had marshals coming up to my office.
Just one marshal. And
Okay.
when,
Yes.
according to state statute,
Right.
when the town clerk is unavailable,
Right.
that the first selectman can accept a document from a state
Well, no
marshal.
one has informed any
for-
first selectman or first
on
selectman's
behalf of
office that that is actually available. So I was never aware, and you never let anyone know that fact until we had an incident here. So, I would like to make that clear. That was never, no first selectman has ever been told that they had that role, and you chose not to let us know that. But, and then we had another issue with someone needing a document taken care of, and the only person who could do that would be the assistant town clerk or the town clerk. So we had multiple issues that same day when you were out, and Janet was out as well. So we do need an assistant town clerk in this community. It's a need. And so I would say to be servicing and it's your decision who you want to put in that role, but we need that role filled.
As I say, once we have a full complement of staff at the high level that I need it, then we can have the discussion again.
Let me ask a question. Can you appoint someone as an interim assistant town clerk so that it's covered and leave your options open to get the perfect person? You know what I mean? Just so that, because a lot of town government is really, we're trying to serve people. And as it is, the hours for when town is open, it's not particularly conducive to many people's work schedules. So if they are working around getting there when it's open, I would just hate someone to come and be like, oh, I took the day off and I can't get this done. So can you appoint an interim assistant that can do what needs to be covered if for some reason you're not there, so that we serve our residents? That's all. I can see you're saying that you want to get the right person,
think
but
the
can someone be interim?
The assumption that's being made here is that people are not being serviced properly in the office, and that's not true. The community is being served
I'm just
24/7. As a matter of fact, we take care of people after hours and before hours when they need it. It's just something extra that we do.
No,
So they are getting what they need.
I'm just saying that, if you're the only person who can do it, right, for some of these functions without having an assistant, anybody's going to have conflicts, Claudia.
There's a bond issue or something like that. Usually arrangements are made in advance.
So could you appoint an assistant interim until you find the perfect person? That's my question. So that in the rare incidents that you're not there, that it's covered. That it's just a real simple question. Can there be an interim, someone in your office who could do it? And I think if you could, you should, because I think it makes your life easier. Everyone says you're, and it's not like, you're not committing to something long-term, it's just interim.
So noted.
What?
So noted.
So is that saying you would, or you're just hearing me and saying, no, I'm gonna do what I want to do? Is
Something I would take under consideration.
it reasonable consideration? These people have been working for a while, right? So there's gotta be someone who could do it, right?
I have almost a brand new staff, but
How long has Kevin, and Adrian's new, but how long has Kevin been here? 5 years?
again, these are
we hired
personnel
Janet,
issues.
What were her qualifications when she came into the office? Did she come in as the assistant town clerk?
She was hired 22 years ago, and she moved through the system. The assistant town clerk, who I don't know who that was, 23 years ago.
That's a while ago.
So we need is an assistant to the town clerk.
Okay, how long was Janet working before she
Position.
was, became the assistant town clerk?
I don't know
Okay.
that offhand.
Okay.
So you're saying you need an assistant to the town clerk, I guess, I'm struggling because you have Kevin. So we put in for an admin. Are you saying we should be pulling that and not posting that?
I feel that there should be a posting for an assistant to the town clerk.
Okay, well then we need to get that approved.
Yeah, so then we should do that. If that's what you want to do, then we need to make a posting for an assistant town clerk.
She wants an assistant to the town clerk. It's different than an assistant town clerk.
Okay, well, I think that was my issue, is that there's a pool of budget money that was associated. And then, so we need somebody that is qualified as an assistant town clerk that we would pay. If we raise everyone without raising their duties. You're just increasing the overall salary pool of that office without having the skill set. So like,
I think it would still be the same salary pool. We're not
I don't know
adding
if you're,
anything.
yeah.
I mean, is there,
Why is this a big deal?
I'm just trying to.
I don't understand why this is a
Well,
big
so
deal.
I'm just trying to understand, is there an issue with having an assistant town? Is that I'm hearing you want an assistant town clerk, right? I mean, is that correct? Or am I missing something? I don't know. Because we said that within a few months, we're going to hire an assistant town clerk. So I just want to make
No,
sure.
I said in a few months. I'm hoping that that's what you did say. Okay, never mind.
So, you have to tell it. We're trying to help you, Claudia. I mean, it's not like, I'm here to say, what do you need? You've come to us for overtime. You've come to us for.
I need a posting for an assistant to the town clerk at the same level that Janet was to be posted.
So Janet wasn't an assistant town clerk. She was an assistant to the town
No,
clerk.
Janet was an assistant town clerk. She's asking for a different position.
Okay.
And hire.
Assistant town clerk.
She has to appoint an assistant town
Okay.
clerk versus you can hire. So I'm not sure why we can't appoint someone to be the assistant town clerk.
At least in the interim.
Yes, I agree.
So
If you don't like
it's not the perfect person,
right.
it's somebody.
As a town,
Yeah.
we need someone when you're out of the office that can assume the responsibilities of the town clerk when you're not in the office and not require residents or members of the community or other bond people to have to email, make an appointment and all that kind of stuff. Town hall is open for certain hours to be available to the public. And when you're not physically in the building, and I'm not saying, then the person that's in the building and not me, because I have a lot of other jobs and taking on town clerk responsibilities is not what I want to be taking on. There should be someone in your office that can handle the responsibilities that by law need to be handled by your office at a moment in time when you're out to lunch, you're at a conference. I'm not saying,
Your vacation.
you're on vacation. Someone in that office has to be able to take on whatever Janet used to do because she had that designation. We need to put that person in the office. And however you want to do that, if it's hiring, if it's giving someone that's already a staff member that role, whatever works for you is fine. We need to get it appointed. And if it's an interim, I think, that's a great option.
Yeah,
If you don't,
if you don't have the perfect person, do an interim.
yeah, I agree.
Just trying to help. I mean, it's not a criticism, Claudia. We're just trying to help, So if there's anything else we can do, let us know. Thank you.
Okay. I would like to get feedback that this is happening, so, I just want to have this conversation and then it goes away and we're not paying attention to it. I would like to know, I don't know how the process is to be informed when there is the interim. That would be great. And so maybe in 2 weeks, you just give us an update and every 2 weeks. You don't have to be there, just give us an update. We're still working or I'm looking at this or we're interviewing people just so we know this is moving along because we are here to serve our public.
So
been
Tucker,
doing
we can put it on the
successfully.
next couple agendas until it's fixed,
Yeah.
until we figure out what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, thanks.
thank you.
Oh my God.
All right, so
Contracts.
next item is contracts.
I can never open these on my iPad. You can't. No, it's just like it's down low. I can't get to it. So open yours. Thank you. Uniforms. There you go. Got to pay a lot of bills, man. It's a lot of bills.
Yeah. It's an active pen. Any questions?
Nope.
All right. So then moving on to reappointment. Tucker.
Morning. Bob Doran could not be with us this morning, but asked me just to present on his behalf. As many of you may know, this is an appointment that we've had for several years. The Area 9 Cable Council, this came from Bob. He asked me just to briefly read this to you, is a state mandated governmental body made up of appointed volunteer representatives. They serve as a citizen advisory group representing our community's interests to the cable television producer Altice USA and to the state of Connecticut Public Utility PURA.
The A9CC advocates to act on behalf of our local cable subscribers, additionally support student work within the Area 9CC area. Our mission is to advocate to the best possible service for Altice Optimum Cable customers and to promote the utilization of program services through the public education and government access. So Bob has sat on this for years. He and Paul Sedlak was also a representative. Paul is stepping down, but Bob would like to be reappointed for a term July 1 through June 30th, 2027.
Do we need one or two? Do we have to replace
Up to
Paul?
3.
Okay.
You need to have at least 1, but we are entitled to up to 3. On a separate note, Deanna and I are meeting with Bob this week just to talk about how this all relates to our NCTV 79 and what the plans are for that going forward. So.
Any questions?
Request.
Yep.
All right.
The right guy for it.
Always
Yeah.
working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And in
But-
front of the camera.
If I could get a motion to approve a request to reappoint Bob Doran to the Area 9 Cable Council, A9CC, for a term beginning July 1, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2027.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. Selectmen's comments. I just wanted to update people. So last Monday and the prior Thursday, so the 28th and whatever that is in July, I went up to New Britain for the Pura hearings on the sale of Aquarians at water distribution to RWA. There were 3 days of hearings. It was quite in depth, and Rudy Marconi from Ridgefield and myself testified as first selectman, against the sale. So Pura will be, analyzing all the information. There was a lot of requests for additional data that'll happen. And it should be, late October, mid-November before we hear something. So
The fear is the cost of water locally will be sort of unregulated in a lot of ways. I
yeah,
guess.
so this sale will take Pura out of the regulation, and they will be regulated by a representative policy board with people from each 60 representatives on a representative policy board would be the group approving, but they would be coming from this authority board that would have 11 members, but 6 of those members would be from RWA territory, not the territory that is being covered by these rates, and then only 5 would be from current Aquarian town. So that's part of it.
RWA more.
Yeah, it's like more east and north.
Okay.
And their rates currently are significantly higher than our rates. And in the spreadsheet that was submitted to the Pura hearing by RWA, I mean, the amount of rate increases that they're proposing are significant. I mean,
Okay.
year 1 was over 8%. And then for the next 10 years, they're over 6% annually. So it's a lot it's a lot of fees.
And they've been, I think they've been artificially low. Like there
Right.
have not been increases in a very long time.
Right. I
Right.
think it's been 10 years since Aquarian was granted a rate increase, and they
Which is
just
a lot.
lost a Superior Court hearing. They didn't believe that some of the infrastructure improvements that Aquarian did were necessary, so they didn't approve passing the cost.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Mhm.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a tough one. So we'll see.
Okay.
And
beyond, so neighboring towns, are, so do Westport and Darien, are they kind of in the same boat that we are?
every single town in this 60 group, all the first selectmen in all the towns covered, have opposed this
Okay,
sale.
all
Every
right. So
single
this
one.
is, this is
Yeah, it
a
is
challenge. Yeah.
universally, it
Okay.
is universally opposed by every town that is in this
Okay.
service district.
Okay.
So, So it is nonpartisan.
No,
It
that's
is
uniform.
like
Yeah,
every
okay.
single, Rudy's a Democrat, so,
But it's just,
we all.
it's water.
It's
okay?
water, it's water.
Mhm.
So
That affects a lot of people.
it does, it's a it's, you can't not have it.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't say,
air,
okay,
water. There you
yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway.
All
So
right, well,
that's
thank you
it
for doing that.
for me.
How was the traffic going up to those?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I have a newfound, I've always had appreciation for the commutes of our staff here, but I was going reverse traffic, 2 hours to get up to New Britain last Thursday.
New Britain's far.
2 hours. It was insane. So anyway, okay.
Thank you for doing that.
All right, thank you.
If I could
Thanks.
get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Are we off?